Good morning, Dr. Steepleman. Sorry you weren't able to come visit my class today, so I wanted to put together a video for you of the things that we did in class today by teaching with the iPad. So welcome. My name is Marcia Tyson. I'm the Science Department Chair here at Battle High School, and I am a proud user of technology every single day in my classroom. In fact, I'm using an app called Explain Everything while I make my video for you today. This is my student teacher you're also going to see. Her name is Kara Schulte. She is doing a great job teaching with the iPad and has been able to bring a lot of tricks she's learned at Mizzou since they're one-to-one with iPads as well. So we wanted to share what we did in class today. The first thing that we used in class was a program called Nearpod. Now, Nearpod is a web-based as well as app-based program, and students were actually using it, and my student teacher was also using it at the same time. So what our plan for this lesson was for students to learn how to calculate net force from a scenario. So as you can see, students all have their iPads in front of them. Now, projected up on the Smart Notebook up front, this is also a student version of the Nearpod presentation. It's an interactive presentation that allows students to draw, it allows students to answer questions, and it's just-in-time teaching. Now, if you'll notice, my student teacher here, she's holding her own personal iPad because she is controlling the Nearpod presentation. Now, not only is she able to control the slides that students are looking at and kind of control the pace of the lesson, the other thing that she's able to do with her teacher iPad, as you can see from this picture, is she's getting real-time data from the students. So what you see in the screen is student responses, and every one of those plants are actually students that have submitted it. Now, by having two devices in the classroom, we're able to catch misconceptions immediately. We can share student answers at any point. So for example, if I wanted to project this particular answer to the board, I could anonymously do that. All I would need to do is tap on my teacher iPad, which would then allow the students to see the image on their student iPad. Again, I'm utilizing two devices in the classroom. I'm also able to monitor students that are in the Nearpod presentation. So at any point, if they jump out of the Nearpod room and they're working on other things, I can monitor that and I can see who is engaged with the Nearpod lesson and who isn't. After getting guided practice with the Nearpod presentation and where students can calculate net force, we then moved into the PhET simulation. Now, you might have heard of the PhET simulation before. We do a lot of hands-on labs in our physics class. Just last week, we were riding a hovercraft down the hallway. Well, today, after learning about net force, we're then putting that knowledge to practice with the PhET simulation. So as you can see, our students all have their own iPads, and on their iPad, they are actually using the PhET simulation. Now, the PhET simulation allows them to move different people onto the cart, as you can see. They are not only looking at net force, they're connecting that to net motion. They also are able to add friction elements in it, and lastly, they're going to relate it to Newton's second law regarding the acceleration of the object. Students now are using what they learned in the Nearpod presentation and they're practicing it in a simulation situation where they get to manipulate the variables. Now, if you'll notice, we are also combining writing with the simulation. So we balance paper, pencil, and utilize technology as a tool in the classroom. We always try to pick the tool that is best for the job, and in this case, the tool is going to be their iPad as well as their paper pencil documentation for the simulation lab. So this is just a sample of the kinds of things that I do in my classroom. Just yesterday, this is all the uses of technology that I have. One of my goals is every student every day are going to be using their iPads for some digital tool tasks, while at the same time, as a teacher, I need to be able to be using my iPad as well in various situations. So again, this is being made using my iPad and using the Explain Everything app. I hope you value the technology use in my classroom and you can see the importance that it brings. I also hope that you can value the use of my own personal teacher iPad to be able to help with that.